Hello gamers, it's SoftKitty99 on the Classic Beta Stress Test, and I am on a troll hunter in the Valley of Trials. So we've got a few quests to do. We need to collect cactus apples and kill scorpions and kill the big major scorpion, and I'm hoping that it's quietened down just a tidgy bit so that we'll be able to get a few of these things done. Oh look, is this another quest? No, it's not. It's still a white quest, so we can't pick that one up just yet. So let's just check that we've got everything on our action bars. Oh look, there we've not got berserking, which is our racial trait, on our action bars, so we need to add that. And I think we might have everything else, perhaps. Yes, I think the other things are not beyond the action bars, are all passives and things. So I think we're already set up now to continue, and we'll see if we can get more of these quests done and get our hunter to level 5 before the stress test is over. I'm hoping that we can get that level 5. As you can see, I'm dithering about because I'm not quite sure which thing to try and do first. Ah dear, right, so shall we go and try and find some scorpions? Oh, hang on, cactus apple. Cactus apple, cactus apple. I think we need 10 of these. Oh, there's another one around the other side. If I can just get around these cactuses, that means we can get to the second one. Yes, we do need 10, look, so this will be 2. I wonder how fast these respawn. I hope they respawn faster than the boars we're doing, because this could take us all day to just get one quest done. Oh look, there's not many people. Oh, this is good. We've just logged in onto an almost empty place. That's cool. Lots of cactus apples for us to pick up. We're not competing with people at the moment, look, so any of these big clusters seem to have at least 2 cactus apples that you can pick up. Is there another one? Oh, there's another one. There's a third one over there, so let's see if we can grab that. Oh, we might be able to get this one done fairly quickly. That's good news, isn't it? So we have 5, so we just need 5 more. Oh, there's another one there. Hang on, didn't we just pick that one up? Ooh, did that one respawn that fast? Or have I gone to a different one thinking it's the same one that we were at before? Not quite sure. Anyway, I'm happy. I have 6. I only need another 4. That's really good news. We're doing really, really well on this. Right, I wonder how many we can find in this little bit. There's one there. So that's 7. We only need 3 more. Yay! This is going so much better this time. So you see, if you can catch the servers at a time when there's less about, then you have a chance of getting things done a little bit quicker. So this will make 9, so we only need to find 1 more. This one has gone a lot faster than I was expecting. This quest's going really well. So just 1 more. Oh, there's one up there. Beautiful. That will complete our cactus apple quest, and then we can decide which to do next. And done! 10 out of 10 cactus apples, so now we can start another quest. So what shall we do next? What can we spot with our little troll hunter eyes? Vile familiars. Do we have a quest for vile familiars? I think we do, don't we? I know there is a quest for vile familiars. I don't remember whether I picked it up or not, because I picked the quest up before I logged out and then I've had a little gap and come back, so I'm pretty sure we did pick up the quest for it. Oh yes, we've got to skill up our axe skill, haven't we? Oh yes. Yes, in Classic we have to skill up our skills again. Oh yes, we do. 12 vile familiars we need to get. Oh, this shouldn't be too bad at the moment because there aren't many people here, so we shouldn't be fighting for the respawns. Come here, little vile familiar. No, can't quite get the distance. I'm going to have to skill up my axe skill at some point though, so let's try and hit the little imp guy and see if we can get our skill up. we need 10 scorpions as well, and we need another 10 vile familiars in order to complete those 2 quests. So we need 10 scorpions and 10 vile familiars. And don't forget, when you're playing a hunter, there's this little dead zone between your ranged attacks and your melee hits. So it's very important to think about the spot at which they'll change over. And on the beta at the moment, it's a little bit temperamental at getting it to shoot and getting it to use melee hits. You have to press the auto attack for both your ranged attacks and the auto attack for your melee attacks to get the hunter to actually switch between the types of attacks that they're using. I can't actually remember whether in Classic you did actually have to manually press the auto attack to change from ranged to close-up hits. It's so long ago I can't actually remember whether I physically had to press the buttons all the time when I was playing a hunter back in the original Classic. See, I keep getting mixed up between the vanilla and Classic terminologies. I think everybody's currently using vanilla for the original 2004 to 2006 Classic, and Classic for the relaunch that's coming in August of 2019. So that's the way people are using them, but please be aware I often get them mixed up and use them both interchangeably, so please forgive me if I get a bit confused. So another thing that we're not used to on live World of Warcraft is the constant sitting and eating and drinking. Most of the time you eat or drink on BFA is usually just to get a buff on from your food, but in Classic you'll always need to be eating and drinking, so practically everybody needs both food and drinks in order to top up their resources. I think it's only warriors and rogues that don't need the mana drinks, but they do need food, and everybody else needs both. So always make sure you've got food and drink when you go out of a town or city to start questing. Right, that's 5 of 12, just need a few more. It feels so different having all this open space and not having to fight everybody for mobs. It feels so much easier than when we were doing the boars that little bit earlier. Oh, and also when you're leaving town, make sure you've got arrows for your bows and ammo for your guns, and if you're a rogue, make sure you've got throwing daggers or whatever else you're using for the... Hang on a minute. Did that thing just phase? Oh, look, now there's... Oh, look, now there's loads of people again. See, I was in a phase where there was nobody, and now there's at least 5 people, and now there's no mobs to fight. Oh, so that is an aspect of that layering technology. We were in a different layer to everyone, which was why we were having so much ease of getting our mobs. And suddenly there's less people, presumably in the primary layer, so the servers have now decided to collapse the two. But there's a bit of a problem there, because I was in the middle of a fight when it dropped it, so it must be dropping the entire layer regardless of what people are doing, which means you could get into serious trouble, because imagine you've just fought your way inside a cave and you've cleared like 5 or 6 mobs and you've just inched your way into the cave, and then suddenly the layer shifts and you're dropped in a different layer where nobody's cleared this area. You could have like 5 or 6 mobs suddenly jump on top of you and kill you when it was no fault of your own, it was just a random... Oh, this layering, I get why they want the layering, but when you see things like that happen, it makes you concerned for what the consequences of the layering could be. But if we didn't have layering, then we'll have like 5,000 people all in one spot, like we did with the boars, where you physically couldn't kill a single mob. So there's no good way to do it. There are good aspects to either way and bad aspects to either, and you know, I don't think I'm happy with either. So I can see the frustration that people are getting on both sides of the argument, and I can see where Blizzard are coming from with theirs as well. So I don't think there's a good answer. Somebody is always going to be upset by whatever you choose to do, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But they did say that layering will be gone after the first phase, when we've not got like 5 to 10,000 people all trying to be in the same spot. So fingers crossed that it does work that way, and that we don't have too many problems with the layers dropping like that, and hopefully it doesn't happen too much when people are in really dangerous circumstances. Anyway, let's try and get the rest of these Val Familiars. We only need a few more. I feel like I need a bigger axe, because I just like hit him and he like this little amount of damage, and the axe swings so slowly you feel like you're just kind of stuck in treacle. It's like whing, whing. I do think I remember Classic being an awful lot slower though, so this is actually feels a bit like Classic, to be honest. Fighting over mobs, waiting a long time for respawns, slow movement, slow fighting, slow weapons. That does feel really familiar to me, it really does. Can't get to level 10, of course, on the beta stress test, so I can't test out the pets, which I feel kind of sad, because I think the big draw to the hunter is the ability to get your pet and try it out and choose whichever companion you want to accompany you on your journeys, and that is the big draw for the hunter. So it's a shame I don't actually get to try that bit out, but I'm really glad we got in at least for the stress test, so that we could have a go at doing something and testing out a few little bits. And to be honest, most of it is really smooth. The problems just seem to be because of the numbers of people, which just got to be expected when something's just started and everybody's really excited to get in and try it out. Hopefully with one of the later stress tests, hopefully we'll get in for all the stress tests, and hopefully at one of the later ones we'll actually get a chance to play around with some of the hunter pets and just refamiliarise ourselves with that. Like I said, the very first one that I played on Classic was a hunter. I played a dwarf hunter actually for my very first character, and it just brings back so many memories, thinking about all the things you had to do, like going out into the world and catching your pet and feeding it, making sure you had the right type of food for your type of pet, because each type of pet only ate certain foods. And then you also had to think about training it. There were a couple of skills that you could train off the hunter pet trainer, but most of the skills you actually had to go out into the world and catch a mob that had the skill that you wanted for your pet. Use the mob that you'd caught out in the world for a while until it used the ability that you wanted to learn, so that you could learn that skill, and then you could let go this random pet that you'd tamed, bring out your chosen pet, and then teach the skill that you'd learned off this random outside world pet to your pet. And you had to go and get every different rank from a different mob out in the world, so you had to find where the skill was located on which pet mob that it had that skill, go out, catch that pet, use it until it used its skill, so you could learn that skill, and then you could teach that skill to your pet. And you had to do that for every rank of every ability that you wanted. So it gave you a lot of engagement with the world as a hunter, to go out and find these things and find the right mobs, learn the skills, choose the right skills for your pet, and customize your pet to what you wanted, choose the type of pet that you wanted. And I really engaged a lot with the hunter because of all those mechanics that really engaged you with the world and with your character and with your pet, and I'm really looking forward to redoing that. Woohoo, ding! Oh, see, the dings are so much more meaningful in Classic because you have to work really hard to get to them. Even at this low level, look how much work we've had to do, competing with other people. Like I said, if you're doing this on the live game come August, it's probably best to group up with a load of people, even if they're people you've never met in the starting zone. Get yourself a full group of 5 people to try and finish the quests off, because if you've got 5,000 people stuck in this starting zone, even if everybody groups up in groups of 5 so that you need 5 times less, that's still 1,000 groups of people trying to get to like 20 to 30 boar mobs. Can you imagine how hard that will be? And if everybody stayed as individuals, 3,000 different people trying to get to let's be generous, say 30 raw mobs. They're taking, what, 30 seconds a minute to respawn. Just do the maths on that. That is going to be a really long amount of time to be trapped, isn't it, in the starting zone? So, yeah, definitely get into groups of 5 to at least get through the first few quests to get out of the Valley of Trials and things. And once people are out of the starting zones, Death Knell, Valley of Trials, Camp Narachi, once you get out of the start zones, hopefully it'll be easier to complete quests, because people will start to trickle out of the starting zones in a fairly slow manner as they slowly manage to complete the starting quests. I guess a lot of people are probably going to ignore the starting zones and just try and run out and kill a few of the higher level mobs to tick themselves enough XP to get to those quests. But I'm not sure if you can actually start those quests before you've done the quests in the starting zones. I don't remember if the quests pop up regardless of whether you've got a quest leading to them or not. I think some of them probably do, but I don't remember which ones. So yeah, definitely get into groups of 5 if there's a lot of people in the place that you're in, because it's just going to be torture regardless. So if you've got groups of 5, it'll make it slightly less torturous and slightly quicker, so that's definitely an advantage. I'm not actively going to join groups here, just to give you a bit of an idea of how long it's going to take you if you don't get into groups. Obviously there's a lot less people here now than there will be at launch, so but if anybody does invite me to a group, I will accept, because I don't want to cause people too much stress, but I just want to give you a feel for how long it could take if you try to go alone. Right, so we just need 2 more Vile Familiars and 8 more Scorpions. So we're going to be doing this for a little while, I think, still. Come, my trusty bow, let us do the deed. Yeah, and don't forget you have to press the auto attack. And there we go. Totally organically being invited to groups in order to not compete with the mobs. So I do think that's going to happen even more when the live launch happens in August, because you're going to have even more people in the area. So it just doesn't make sense to try and go solo if there are tons and tons of people. So yeah, organically form your groups and get the quests done, so it just makes life easier for everybody. Now I only need 1 more of these though, so these people who've invited me to the group were a little bit late for my particular quest, but I bet some of the people forming the group have only just arrived to do the quest. Right, so that's me done with these, so I'll leave this particular group because they're doing Vile Familiars, and then we will head back over to the Scorpions. Now most of the Scorpions are over in this direction, back to close to where the tree is, with the troll at the bottom of it who gives you the quest to kill the boss Scorpion up the hill. I think the Scorpion's name is Sarkoth, something like that. So this big rock formation that we're just passing now, and the tree just off to the right, look, see, you can see the quest giver at the base of the tree right there, can you see him? And then up that hill right in front of us, that's where the boss Sarkoth, the big scorpion, is. So you can find the Scorpions in this big area around the tree and that rock formation that we've just passed, and then up this hill where the boss Sarkoth, the Scorpion, is, and then there's a lot of little Scorpions in this area around him as well. Remember back in Classic, most people stayed near the rock formation and the tree down the hill, because they didn't realise that there was anything up this hill except for the boss Sarkoth. They didn't realise there were a lot of little Scorpions. So you could quite often sneak up here and kill the Scorpions and get your quest done while everybody else was down the hill. But of course now, 15 years on from the original launch, so many of the people that are here played in Classic, so they found out all those little tricks like running up the hill to get the little Scorpions. So you can't do those little sneaky get the mobs done before everybody else because you knew some little secret that people didn't know, because everybody knows these things now because we've had 15 years for people to find them. So you can't do those little sneak past and get things done quicker because everybody knows about it. But yeah, like I say, everybody's up here right now. So there's an awful lot of people trying to kill these Scorpions, so this could be a bit of a problem, and I think we might end up having to do that in another episode now. And Sarkoth, I think, spawns sort of in front of where I am now, in this sort of area. Oh, there he is. He spawned a little bit further down than I expected, so a little bit closer to the tree and the edge of that patch of shade just under the tree. So that gets us the Sarkos kill. So there we go, we've got Sarkos Mandelclaw, so we can turn that in. And we'll do the scorpions in the next episode. Hope you've enjoyed today's episode. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. From SoftKitty99, goodbye and happy gaming!